I was just going over an old email back from 2021, 2022, when I was on probation. My ex made me do some crimes and I went on probation for it. Thank God. That meant I could stay home with my daughter after giving birth to her. Well, I also did mental health court as well, so yeah, I got to stay home, take care of my daughter, because I was like 7 months pregnant when my ex tried to commit me with all these crimes. He's not the father of my child, Jonathan is, but it's like, so at 7 months pregnant, I went into all different court systems.
Okay, just to let you know, I'm now recording. Okay, I just turned on my live stream. If you don't want anything of this known to anybody, don't say anything. Okay?
Alright. Alright. But yeah, well then I'll probably talk to you about it another time.
Yes. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. I'm there for you. I'm just trying to get into this Okay, so but you can be in here, and I'm, like I said, I'm live streaming now, so I'm going to
and the cold winds blow. I'll keep my smile, let my bravery show. In this twisted tale, I'll rise above. With every scare, I'll show my love. I'm too cute to die. I'll face the night with a heart of steel. I'll win this fight in this horror game. I'll stand my ground with every step. I'll make my sound. So join me now, let's beat this fight. Together we'll conquer the darkest night. In this game of scares, we'll always try. Cause you and I were too cute to die.
wow. Don't need it that high, hey?
When the shadows, I can feel the fear. Monsters lurking, they're always near. But I've got my courage, I won't hide. Cause deep down I know I'm too cute to die. The shadows creep and the cold winds blow. I'll keep my smile, let my bravery show. In this twisted tale, I'll rise above. With every scare, I'll show my love. I'm too cute to die. I'll face the night with a heart of steel. I'll win this fight in this horror
send the
game.
videos?
I'll stand my ground.
Or is that too
With
big
every
still?
step, I'll make my sound.
There's the other thing you can do is you can send John to YouTube, and then he downloads it with Real Player, and then onto his PC, and then you delete it off YouTube so that it's not there, so your edited one will be there when you need it, and you can private it when you're doing that, and have him only be seeing it at first. That's another way you can do it.
But I've got courage, no need to fear.
Does that make sense?
Monsters lurk, I won't hide. Cause I know I'm too cute to die. I'm too cute to die. I'll face the night with a heart of steel. I'll win this fight in this horror game. I'll stand my ground with every step. I'll make my sound. Join me now, let's beat this fight. Together we'll conquer the darkest night. In this game of scares, we'll always try. Cause you and I were too cute to die. no need to fear. Monsters lurk, I won't hide, 'cause I know I'm too cute to die. I'm too cute to die. I'll face the night with a heart of steel. I'll win this fight in this horror game. I'll stand my ground with every step. I'll make my sound. Join me now. Let's beat this fright.
Hello?
Together we'll conquer the darkest night. In this game of scares, we'll always try. 'Cause you and I were too cute to die.
Yes. I'm
Got a
streaming.
message for you. Don't die.
Oh, gee, thanks. I'm playing
By the way,
Tiny. I'm playing Tiny Bunny, by the way.
Nice. You were talked about this morning. Me and Basher were talking about you.
What did I do now?
Nothing. It's, I want to make a trip out there, around Houston area to hang out with some friends. I don't want to say, could you imagine, Alpha's face if you sent her a picture of us hanging out together? He's like, you really want to piss your sister off, don't you? I said, yeah, just a little bit. But I do that on a daily basis, so it'd be nothing new for me.
Well, at least
I don't have to either get it.
at least am I cared about. Like, geez, guys. God.
So join me now. Let's beat this fright.
I thought it was, yeah, we should, instead of sending a picture, we'll just give her a phone call. Hey, somebody wants you to say hi.
Scares, we'll always try. 'Cause you and I were
She's
too
like,
cute
you know, she was
to
coming down from
die.
Canada just to kick our ass, right?
What am I gonna do with you guys, huh? What am I gonna do?
4 days.
Yeah, I work Wednesday, Thursday, off Friday, Saturday, work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, off, or Wednesday, Thursday, off Friday, Saturday. Work
Okay,
Sunday.
everybody.
That is how my schedule
You're not
goes.
gonna be able to see me on webcam today because we're playing Tiny Bunny and it doesn't work for the webcam part. So you'll hear my voice and you'll get to see the entire game just the way it is right now. Okay? Hey DJ Goat, welcome in. Glad you're here. So this is called Tiny Bunny, and it's a Russian game actually. So it might be a little bit confusing on some things. The wind clawed at my window all night long. It wandered the fields and howled like hungry beasts. Yeah, Sarah, you're the only one here in the YouTube, but I have Twitch going as well, so. You're just gonna be lurking, DJ? Alright. An endless song, weaved from all sorts of voices, shrill, gentle, sneery, twined in the air. They were shouting and laughing. Hey, Luna. And arguing about something. Someone was running through the snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. Our house had a mind of its own, the creaky old mind of a building that had seen a lot in its days and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom with the inhabitants. Ow. I haven't fixed that one yet. Remember, we have to use the other sound alerts.
Oh, sorry.
Oh. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket gazed back with its hollow eyes. rustling, whizzing, sway back and forth. Thanks for the scare. Yeah, that was awesome. Thanks. Yeah. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves. There was nobody behind the cricket trees. Yeah, 2 here now? That's awesome. I'm glad. Actually, I'm gonna see where my mod is. And get her butt in here too. Because she should be modding, but she doesn't. She just does her own little thing. Okay. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. It's just a play of light and shadow. Just a play. I knew it was just my imagination. I was already 12 after all. Still. Hey, put away your book. Mom, how many times have I told you not to read at the table? It's bad for your health. Look at how slouched you are. So you're supposed to read somewhere else? Not at... Alright, I'll hide the book. I didn't protest and put the book about Conan the Barbarian aside. I was stuck on a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyway. Ola had already finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was so enthusiastic she almost looked like your typical girl from commercials. You're not going anywhere until you finish all of it. I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole in the plate with my eyes, as if it would make the porridge disappear. Hazy, anxious, welled up inside, all because of the previous sleepless night, the black forest around our house, and the gloomy wind. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substance became. Hey Rock, welcome in. It looked like a jellyfish from the Crustacea Odyssey. I love that show. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is. Or how cold the black forest is at night. The spoon fell out of my hand. Mom showered me with a cold glare from her green eyes. What did I just say? I'll get it. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. He should. He usually does. And I can't do the dance today because there's no picture of me on the webcam. But you can at least hear the song. Yeah, Raven's a sweetheart. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling a nasty porch once again. I felt around for the spoon. What is this carved on the other side of the table? Cabana? Karina. That's what it's supposed to say, is Karina. But this is in Russian, so that's how they spell it. Ha! That's my mom's name. I guess she carved it out with something pointy when she was little. She sure was a rascal, damaging the furniture like that. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar, though. Should I remind her about it? No, she's been in a bit of a bad mood lately. I imagined her being my age, sitting under this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then? Or the sounds coming from the attic? Or the thick forest? I imagined my grandma coming into my little Mom's room, sitting at the edge of her bed, where Olga sleeps nowadays, and saying this in her soft, smooth voice. Taija is a special place, little girl. It's watching you closely, sniffing you out, trying to discern what kind of beast you are. If you're a good short, it won't abandon you in times of trouble. But if you're a bad apple, it'll grab you by the side and drag you under the ground. And that would be it. Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody, never yelled, never swore. Those were the times without the maddening screams until late at night, without smashed dishes and mutual accusations. So what are you guys getting from this vibe here?
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah,
Funny.
yeah, it's kind of like you know, it's okay, but it's not okay. Like it's normal, but not normal. Like it's just there's something odd about it, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Luna's in my Twitch stream with me, and so yeah, it's giving a little bit of a vibe, right? Our parents used to love each other back then. I remember listening on one of their conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her funeral. She had already bought a casket, and she called it her cute funeral box. It waited for its time in the closet, patiently. There's a closet big enough to hold your coffin, lady? How tiny are you? I'm sorry. I know that was kind of funny, but like to think of a coffin, okay? I would think it would not fit in a normal closet. I'm just saying. It was black, upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. Ew. So it was basically tan, okay? Or pinkish. The house didn't change since the time she was alive. Only all of the photos were gone. Glass-covered pictures with gray faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead but watchful look in their eyes. That would be creepy as a kid, you know, looking around and seeing like something like that. The way they say it. Don't you think? Like, oh my lord. Are you trying to scare the shit out of us? Is that what we're planning here? Okay. I crawled out from under the table. Ola was done with her cookies and was looking at my share like a sly woodland critter. I turned my gaze toward the frosted window. There were a lot of dark pines outside, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost formed a picture on the glass. Yeah, I can see that, like right here. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. I kind of like that. That looks so pretty. Hola. Look, it's a fox. Yeah, that is a fox right there. That's crazy how they made a fox with the snow ice. Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
When you were a kid, did you do any pictures in the window with, ice and all that? Like rubbing it away to make a picture? Have you ever done that?
Pretty much like hearts and smiley faces.
Hearts and smiley
And that was
faces?
on the bus window. That was on the bus windows. I would be going home from school.
Oh. Yeah,
I'm not that talented of an artist.
yeah, I used to do like smiley faces and stuff like that, little things, tiny little things when I was going on the bus. And when we didn't have like, the snow frost kind of on the glass windows, I would like kind of breathe onto the glass so it would have like that little fog, and then I draw on it.
Yes.
You've done that too, hey?
Yes, a lot.
Ola says where? It looked almost like those optical illusion thingies they put on the back of student notebooks. Yeah, it kind of does. Honestly, I kind of agree with them on that. A mixture of lines at first glance, but if you blur your vision a little bit, you can see the fox. And look under a certain angle. Yep, I would agree. Not outside, on the window. Look, here's the nose, and here's... Hey, eat up. Jesus, Mom's mean. Settle down, jeez. Or do you have to go somewhere and that he's being slow? Yes, just a moment. I don't see anything. Hurry up, there's not much left. Ah, there it is. But it still doesn't look like one. And I'm telling you, it does. Nuh-uh. It does. Stop it. These kids, I swear. Now, I couldn't see the fox either. Oh, that's weird. Where'd the fox go? Was it even there? Now I'm wondering. It disappeared. Went away. Only the frosty patterns, similar to stretched out nettle leaves, kept creeping up the glass. Okay, that's a little weird. Wouldn't you say, Luna? Because there was a fox there.
Yes, there was.
Where did the fox go? My dad entered the kitchen with long, measured steps. I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. Mo would always ask, jokingly, "Come on, shave it off. It stings." This was so long ago. Nowadays, rumbling doors and witty comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Ola always covers her ears whenever she hears something like, "What's the point in all this?" through the wall. "It's all for your sake," Dad would reply, "for the sake of our family." I always caught every sound in fear of hearing the most dreaded, the deadliest word that started with a D. D-I-V-O. I don't even want to finish it. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister could be torn apart and taken in two different families. Anyway, your fox is nothing. I have an owl on my window. You and your owl talk again. You said you believed me just yesterday. Has anybody seen my car keys? I remember leaving them on the windowsill. Right. Maybe you did and maybe you not. You're a grown man, a father of 2, and still... Karina, please stop. Just let me get ready in peace. Your keys are in the basket, near the phone. Well, thank you very much. And Tom, stop making a martyr out of yourself and finish eating already. And the owl. There was no owl. Okay, so she's seeing an owl and he's seeing a fox at the window. But there was one. It had giant glowing eyes. Ola sprung up from the chair and placed her hands on her little face, imitating a pair of eyes with her fingers, the size of an apple each. Last year you had Baba in your closet, and now this owl? But I saw it. Ola shifted her gaze back and forth from Dad to Mom to me, but couldn't find any support. Have you thought about befriending it? You know, like feeding it with imaginary mice? Don't bully our girl. She's just afraid to sleep alone because she's still little. Ola pouted her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. Mum gave Dad a strict look. Oh, that look in her eyes. It's so uncomfortable to be pinned under it. Dad just snorted in reply and left, ringing with the keys he just found. A minute had passed and the theme song from The Little Mermaid echoed through the house. It was stored on incredibly worn-out cassette tapes, which Dad already had to glue together once. It's so easy to fix objects, by gluing them back together, for example. But how do you fix a relationship? Mom moved to the living room and I was left alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. Okay, so his family is basically breaking apart. And they don't believe their kids when the kids say something is there. In fact, each kid doesn't believe one another either. So there's a lot of mistrust in the family, right?
Yeah.
So that's not good. And they're having trouble sleeping at night since they moved. Because they moved to this house. It's a Siberian forest, is outside of their home. Okay? Ola had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to this house. She would toss and turn or curl up into a ball under her blanket. Sometimes she would jump up in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Cartoons helped to take her mind off all the troubles we had with the move and our parents. Oh, Jesus. Okay, that was scary. That made me jump. Did you see that?
Yes.
And then Ola said she saw that giant flying monster outside her window. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Ola refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that the owl was just one of her nightmares. After tonight, I was unsure what to make of my sister's words, what to think of it myself. Can nightmares be infectious? Just last night, I couldn't get a wink of sleep. Ended up thinking of what to expect in my new school. There were a couple of days left before the beginning of a new term. My imagination drew long, twisting hallways that led to a classroom full of kids. But all the students behind their desks were simply dark figures, cut out using a template. Circular holes gaped in the middle of their faces, and pairs of eyes blinked inside those holes. It was as if some completely different creatures were looking at me from behind the flat black silhouettes. Their cruel glares, filled with icy sneers, made me shiver from head to toe. Oh, that's just creepy. Could you imagine something like that? Like, you're in class and you see, like, everybody is not normal looking, that, like look like that? That'd be terrifying. Will I survive here? Won't they gang up on me and beat me down? Stomp on me with their bloodied shoes? The damn school can burn for all I care. I just wish for anything to happen to it. Doesn't really matter what. I didn't want to go there that badly. I didn't want to see people who are just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of a new, offensive name for me worse than the previous one. I felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider or some sort of a monster. My gaze slid across the drawings hanging on the wall. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but Ola begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. The small circle of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings. Are you able to see it okay? Or do I need to change the settings so that you can see it a little better?
It's okay.
Let's see if there's a way of making it brighter. No, they don't have an area where I can make it brighter. I'm sorry. Okay, the small circle of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings, and they promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine Mom picking up the phone and saying in a cold voice, "You've got the wrong number," or "Anton is not around." Anton is not around. Imagine my future classmates lying in their beds, just like me, listening to the howls of invisible werewolves outside their windows. Now he has werewolves outside of his window? Like, where the heck? Maybe my new classmates will like me after all. But who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet, my mom. The house creaked, pressed by the wind. The condo we used to live in, a 9-floor concrete building, buzzed with the neighbor's drill, mumbled with a TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from the big family next door. Our current house, though I can't really call it new, was completely different. It was silent and easy going during the day. Its shadows lay dormant in the corners on the closet cobwebs and under the stairs. But they all woke up during the night. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my diseased family with their ashen eyes were hanging on the walls in place of my drawings. The floor was squeaking, rusty drains were moaning. The attic was occupied by noisy drafts. He sounds very disturbed, doesn't he? One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody. What?
No, I was telling Jonathan.
Oh, okay. Sort of demonic melody. And then I realized I was in fact hearing music. It was already playing for a good while. Somewhere at the edge of my perception, I could hear a flute. Is there like a Pied Piper or something going on over there? Like, what's happening? Anton hears a flute in the middle of the night. It was mixed in with the sound of the wind, of the creaking old house, and my thoughts too. I stood up and rushed to the window. I wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. It's not like someone is playing it there, amidst the cold, snowy night, right? Oh my gosh, look at that! Do you see that? Someone was dancing in the field. You see those? They're dancing in the field. I could see, I think, a bear, a fox, an owl. Is that a deer, maybe? Black silhouettes I could barely make out, with the dark forest as their backdrop. They jumped around, basked in moonlight, bumped into piles of snow, rolled around and crawled on all fours. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to mind, but these were clearly not wolves. They stood upright at times, circled around holding hands and whipping up snow, disappearing into the shadows for a brief moment and then coming back. Something bizarre was going on. Shadows dancing in the starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious at the same time. Suddenly, the music had stopped. Uh-oh. So did their dancing. Did you see that? Like, oh? The dancing shadows froze in place, and I could swear pierced me with their eyes. I think they noticed you. Anton, I think you better go back to bed. One of the silhouettes immediately parted from the bizarre shadow carnival and sprinted across the field with giant leaps. Oh, jeez! Okay. It glided on squeaky snow without leaving any prints until it was devoured by the pitch-black shadow of my house, which became even darker and thicker. Okay. My heart was jumping around like the bird inside a cage. I shut the curtains with a swift motion and stepped back toward the bed. They saw me. Uh-oh. A freezing torrent of fear washed over me. I stood in the middle of a perfectly dark room and listened to some unwanted guest move and scrape around, looking for an entrance. The sound moved to the right, then circled around the house. Now my guest should be at the front door. I jumped into the bed and covered myself with the blanket as if it could protect me. The shackles of fear locked my muscles. I remembered the funeral, my grandma lying there, hands crossed on her chest, her facial features sharp like that of a tin doll. Ants running up and down the legs of chairs that held my grandma's casket. I imagined those little creatures climbing up her head and pulling her eyelids with their tiny legs. Then her wrinkled eyeballs would once again move inside their sockets, and she'd be able to see her grandchildren. I was chanting the spell she taught me throughout the whole procedure. And now, lying under the blanket and listening to squeaks and howls, I was repeating the same words. On the island of Bojon, underneath the blemished sun, in the sea of color blue, stands a cabin made of wood. There lay lard and ashen hair from the spawn from devil's lair, to feast and always leave alone God's faithful servant named Anton. Evil leave this house must. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Bizarre sounds had disappeared. I cautiously peeked out from under the blanket and saw curtains waving round like a hangman. And then the night doused me with a new portion of boiling terror. The sound scratched at my eardrums. In reality, something or someone were scratching at the front door, hurriedly clawing at wood, demanding to be let in. The door was shut. Dad had become very cautious recently, so he installed a sturdy lock. I remember him staring at the forest intently, as if he was looking for someone. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. That was a glass break. Luna, are you still here?
Yeah, my husband was just showing me something, so I had myself on mute.
Okay. Did you hear the glass break? I swear I heard the glass break. I hugged my knees, placing my chin between them, and drilled the door with my eyes. It was so flimsy and weak before the might of darkness.
Oh, shut up, sweaty McBasher.
I am right behind you.
Oh. I can't run anywhere at this moment. Okay, I hugged my knees, placing my chin between them, and drilled the door with my eyes. It was so flimsy and weak before the might of a darkness. And then... No, don't open that door. The doorknob twitched slightly. No, you leave that door alone. Then it turned halfway, once, twice, as if the person who tried to enter had no hands. The doorknob tilted once more, and then...
That was scary.
Started clicking violently. jaw cramped from fear. My wet fingers clutched the blanket. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. The door creaked and opened. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. The wind taunted me, moaning inside the tin drains. Now you'll see. The door was wide open. Oh my god. The darkness withered inside the carnivorous mouth of a doorway. Tony. Tony.
Run.
It was as if the night itself was calling out to me, flapping its black wings and squeaking with rusty hinges. I was trembling, ensnared by the web of darkness that hung in the corners of my room, waiting for the one who weaved it to come out of the gaping black hole. Oh, Tony, Tony. My abdomen tightened and my chest rose up, ready to exhale a desperate scream. But before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me, Tony, you asleep? My sister's pale face protruded from the thick shadows. I almost screamed from relief. Hola! I'm not sleeping? Did something happen? Ola frowned and stuck out her lower lip, a clear sign that she was about to cry. It's there again, staring at me. Shoo her away, Tony. Please. I'm so scared. The fear that was tormenting me just a minute ago crawled away and hid somewhere in my stomach. I needed to calm Ola down. The only sweaty person, Basher, is you, and you know that. Even the female deodorant isn't even helping you anymore. Okay? You're that sweaty that it can't even help you.
Basher McSweatington.
Yes. It was just a dream, silly. Don't be scared. Dreams don't bite. No one's going to harm you. Ola sobbed. She was trying her best to believe me. But was I sure myself? I have an idea. Let's go to your room and watch the video. Sleeping Beauty, for example. You like that cartoon, don't you? Why does the Sleeping Beauty have a prince and I have this scary bird? Yeah, that don't mean shit for you. Basher, just because you take a shower doesn't mean that you're not sweating. You still sweat.
It is hot though. You're full of sweat.
Yeah. That question took me by surprise. Alright, let's watch Cinderella. My thoughts became tangled fuzzy. What was that? What studied me with its eyes while dancing feverishly under the moon? The darkness was clinging to the window, and it couldn't be fooled by Grandma's old chants. It couldn't be satisfied with a feast of lard and long ashen hair. Tony, you coming? Yes, just a moment. Okay, that was bad. Are you reading what Basher just said to me in chat? Guess what, Alpha? You're sweaty, sweaty, sweat, sweat, sweaty, sweat,
Yeah.
sweat.
Oh my goodness! Is that a sweat-covered Basher?
It's a very sweaty Basher. He's so sweaty that even the shower didn't help him. Oh my goodness.
I thought a wild, sweaty Basher.
Is there a Pokeball that we could throw at him and catch him? Cause you know, like, or will the ball be so sweaty that it can't even catch him? Because he's that sweaty.
Exactly.
That's why I didn't want to laugh at Ola and her owl in the morning. Excuse me?
Your deodorant doesn't even help you.
Yeah, the deodorant's not saving your ass at all. Who could be visiting us here in the middle of nowhere? We don't know anyone around here. So persistent. I felt extremely unsettled just from a silly thought that our morning guest could have come from the woods. That doesn't mean anything. Like I said, the sweat that you are, the deodorant ain't saving you. Relaxed person.
Would you like me to throw you like maybe 8 tons of deodorant?
I could barely
And,
hear
like,
voices coming from the front door.
100 bars of soap?
And Basher saying that he's calm and relaxed in his live streams. Have you ever seen Basher calm in his live streams?
No! That was faster because he's so sweaty.
He is so vibrant with the sweaty that, you know, it just, there is no calmness in his streams. He's just, it's a vibe.
He's too sweaty to be around normal people because they just run away screaming.
Oh! Did you hear what Basher said about you?
Oh, bitch! You do realize that I watch Alpha and I'm on her side because of the fact of A, I would rather be around somebody who isn't sweaty McSweaterson, and B, she's really nice and kind to me. You're just being an idiot.
Woo! Basher!
What you gonna do about that, Basher?
Oh, you gotta watch that sweat there, Basher. It's getting bad. My mind was urging me to hide in the closet, under the table, behind the curtains, where Ola always hides. Tony, come here. I felt like kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragged them toward the hallway. Why is there a policeman here? Hi. Can you turn that light on? I did not say flash me with it. Hey, honey.
Okay.
How you doing, stream?
You are very sweaty, Basher.
Ow.
Chop it off.
No.
Here, have some cat food.
Stop throwing the cat food.
are extremely sweaty, Baxter. Yes, you catch that Pokemon with your sweaty ball.
Right. You're not sweaty, He tries so hard to tell everybody that he's not sweaty, but yet, if he wasn't sweaty, here's another reason. Men usually use deodorant for men, but you have to actually use women's deodorant because you're that sweaty. You have to use the women deodorant because you're not low sweaty, you're high sweaty.
You are so
like
sweaty.
Hello.
See, this is what
A couple of policemen towered over me in the doorway. They smelled like frost and worry. My mom always winced and grumbled the moment she saw patrol cars. Worse than bandits. At that moment, though, she looked somewhat confused. Hello? The senior officer, who wore a grim expression, nodded. A boy had gone missing yesterday. His name's Vova. Look at this, please. Have you seen him? The policeman held out a photograph to me. There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school pictured, with a wall carpet as the backdrop. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile. No, I haven't.
Baxter, you are way too freaking sweaty for anyone else. Plus, you are so sweaty no matter what. And your armpit hair is catching all that sweat and making it even
Yeah, it's keeping the sweat there. That's what's going on. When you have armpit hair, it keeps it. So the fact that you have to use female deodorant to handle it says a lot.
Feeling us females correctly shave our pits so this way we don't crap in deodorant.
Basher, just to let you know, my normal sound alerts are not working. That is why we're using Trigger Fire instead of those. Okay? Those don't work right now. I don't know what's going on with that website, but it's not working very well. So we use the typing in the Trigger Fire words to state what you want to state on it. No, I haven't. Are you sure? Look closely. Where would I see him? I don't know anyone around here. I barely leave the house. Well, maybe you've seen him from the window? That's right. Your windows look straight at the forest, don't they? The window? No, I haven't seen anything. I'm not saying I'm embarrassing you. I'm just saying that you're more sweaty than I am. I see. He sounded tired, but his eyes...
Not sweaty.
Hugely sweaty there, Basher. His stare, long and heavy, was full of suspicion. I squirmed unwittingly under the weight of guilt, which his giant shadow cast over me. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway, and the cracks in the ceiling, which I haven't noticed before for some reason. We all know you have to have female deodorant to make you so you're not as sweaty, but it still doesn't function the way it needs to help you with your sweat.
I don't care.
Okay?
You could blast
We
it on
all
Twitter.
know
I
that.
don't
We
care.
all know that. It doesn't
You
matter
can
if I
blast it on
blast it
X.
all.
I don't care.
You're the one that mentioned it in the first place, so why is it bothering you that I'm saying that anyways? Because, I already know what you do. We all know because you told us.
Not my baby. Yeah.
I'm just saying that men usually use male deodorant because they're not as sweaty, but you have to use extra, which is the female one, to be able to be less sweaty. That's all. You're the one that started the sweat wars. So there you go.
Yes, what you did, Basher. You did start the sweat war.
The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway, and the cracks in the ceiling, which I haven't noticed before for some reason. How do you like your new place, by the way? Getting used to it? Bit by bit. It's just our little daughter misses the city a lot. Misses the city? Huh. Have the locals been treating you well? Yes. Everything is all right. Thank you. The policeman pierced through me one more time with his gray eyes. My head started spinning. Yes, you did. Can I help you somehow? I asked that in a shaky voice to look like a plate boy and to end this unpleasant conversation sooner. Now that I think about it, you look just like one of my nephews, little fella. He's a witty boy around your age, wears the same type of goggles. Always engrossed in reading those mystery novels. Told me he wants to enroll in police school when his family visited this summer. I dare because you were the one that started the sweat war. So there. Policeman wanted to help other people just like me. See? I felt uncomfortable, as if a distant relative and not a police officer stood before me. You know what?
See, you are sweaty, Basher. You have sweat running down your arm.
Huh? How is that how do you think that way? Because for one, you don't see anything because I'm not showing my webcam right now. And two, how exactly am I supposed to help you with your sweats?
True.
Little boys like you should stay at home. Steer away from trouble. The times have changed so much. Mom interjected in a cold voice. You don't say. Ah, well, then. What grade are you in, Tony boy? 6th. Have you made any friends here so far? Not yet. I'll be going to school for the first time after the break. Ah, then I'll leave you my number, just in case. Call me if you have any new info. The policemen were going along with their shadows, the smell of cheap cologne and the photo of a smiling boy.
How'd you, Basher? Oh,
I'm not sweaty, not even a little bit. So, you know, you can keep your sweats all to yourself. That's your thing.
I'm not the one being brought in on this.
That's your thing, Basher. You love this. You love to be the sweatiest of the sweats.
Yeah.
His face still stood before my eyes. I wondered what it was like for him, being all alone there. For some reason, I thought of the forest swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? And what would my parents do if I'd gone missing? Would they cry and thrash around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other, like they always do, and forget about me eventually? Mom, this Vova, did you go missing in our forest? Seems like it. Poor child. I looked out the window at the road. The police, UAZ, drove off toward the village. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was splitting off old paint from the windsill. Oh, Luna, read what he said in chat to you.
I am not sweaty. So fudge your back, you're the sweatiest of them all. You're the one who's gonna probably be drenched in sweat and never get somebody who will love you.
Ooh! I remembered all the teenage mystery novels from the Black Kitty series I've read this summer. Your average boys and girls investigated all sorts of mysteries there. They looked for clues, spied on suspicious people, and after a set of amazing adventures, bam, solved any complicated case. They became local celebrities and must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's footprints that led to the forest, and then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Maybe I'll find that lost boy. And I'll get a reward. Ola will be so happy. And not only Ola, Mom and Dad too. Is that all you got, is saying that you're sweaty? Because we all know you are.
Oh yeah, you're extremely sweaty, Master. Me and her are cool as a cucumber and not sweaty at all, you sweaty McSweaterson.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't say sweaty McSweaterson until you...
Maybe they'll even forget about their quarrels for a while. Maybe I'll even save us from the D word. I fantasized about buying Olga a Tamagotchi and getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself, and a whole box of Kinder Surprise. When was the last time our parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. My dad had lost a job at the time. There's that annoying song about it. I had little to no idea what was the accountant's job like. They count money, I think. Neighbors used to envy us. Game recognizes game, which means you a sweat alongside of Alpha. So there you go, Luna. Wow. No. See, the thing is, Basher, the one that's calling out the sweat situation is usually the one that is the sweat, okay? That's how we know. All right.
You the sweatiest, Master. You the sweatiest.
But nobody's mom and dad barely had money to afford sweets, and Dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Olga. Sometimes it gave her my share, too. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a pipsqueak. I couldn't wait to go out, looking for clues. I'm going outside. Yeah, right. You want the police to go around with your photograph next? The forest is so thick. What if the boy got snatched up by wild animals or something even worse? Even worse? Echoed through the hallway. I won't go far. I'll stay away from the forest. Did you hear what I said, or should I repeat myself? Better go pack your school bag or play with Ola. The sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over, and Mum had the last word.
Ruining date night!
Okay, listen here. It takes a heck of a lot longer to friggin' do that than 5 minutes. And 2, I don't do code reads. Okay? I do it by actually doing shit in the game. Okay? I save people. I do gens. I have the killer get looped. Okay? Just because I know how to play the game does not mean that I'm a sweat or that I'm doing code of any sort. So there. Sweaty McSweaterson. Okay, so where do we go? Do we go here? We open this. Go to the kitchen. Go to front yard. Which way do we go? What do you think?
That was scary.
Should we open this up?
Go in the cupboard under the stairs.
Go there first? Okay. They're dark, stuffy closets. Mom says it smells like mice, but how would she know their smell? She hates when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on the freshly sharpened axe. And Ola can't even be lured close to it. She thinks Bobby is living there. No, I'm not a try-hard either. I just know how to play the game. I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned on a dim lamp, so she would see there was nothing but cobwebs, Dad's tools, and scratched walls. She still didn't believe me. And I liked to hide in the closet and listen to Ola count outside. 1, 2, 3. Better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the cramped monster's den. Okay, so we've seen that. I'm gonna go to the kitchen. Grandma kept ice cream for me and Ola there, but now I could only see meat bits for soup and clumped together pelmeni. I grew to hate them already. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to the front yard now. Anton! Yep. I'll whip you if you make a single step out that door. I need to distract Mom somehow, or I'll get scolded and my ass whipped with Dad's leather belt. It's difficult to lie to Mom, but there was no other way for me to run away from home. Well, straight up, if she knew how to do the game, she wouldn't miss those damn skill checks. Okay, listen here about the skill checks. I've already repeated myself many times, okay? I have. When it's on the right bottom side, it does not register. So if I'm missing skill checks in that area, it's not a skill problem. It's a dev problem, okay? The game doesn't register the click. So don't tell me that I don't know how to play the game when I do. Brat. Basher is a brat, don't you think?
Yeah, yes he is. He's a
Mom.
person who's also sweaty as fuck.
Mm-hmm. Mom, something's wrong with the TV. The picture is dim and there are stripes all over the screen. Mom's face became visibly distorted. I'm not a carpenter, and second of all, neither are you. When it comes to the game. Okay? The fact is, if it doesn't register, you can't do shit about it on your own side. It's a development issue, okay? The devs have to fix it. It's a bug that they have to fix. You're killing me here. So have you had enough of shooting those stupid ducks now? Told you that Kinscope will go dim because of your console. Where will we find a TV technician in this hole, huh? Maybe it's just the settings. Please go see for yourself. Strange. It worked fine in the morning. Maybe the snowfall caused it. Mom rubbed her hands clean on her apron and went to Ola's room. Okay. I opened the front gate and went into the field.
We love messing with you too, Elf. Yeah,
Well, that's the whole thing. Basher's such a brat, though, you know.
Yeah, but we love Basher.
But we love Basher. He's such a problem, but we love him.
I'm like the youngest person probably in the chat. I'm like 24, about to be 25.
Yeah.
Hey.
Carefully so Mom wouldn't see me from the window. Yeah, I'm in my 40s. So yeah, you're the youngest. Actually, I have a child that is around your age. So there's that.
I'm like the baby sister. I'm the baby sister. I'm the
Yeah,
one
you're the baby sister.
much havoc, but I will be there when you guys need me. Yes, we do.
Of
love
course
you,
we
Basher.
love you, Basher. That's why I'm allowed to call you a sweat all the time, and you're allowed to call me a sweat, even though I get a little grrr when you do it. It's okay. You're okay. I'll pat you on the head later.
Yes.
When I crossed half the distance toward the forest, the snow piles became as high as my knees. I remembered my nightly fears. I saw those silhouettes around here. They were jumping around, holding hands. The hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on its own. So he left the house, which his mom told him not to, And he's gone into the forest where he's seen those creatures dancing. Do you think he's going to be safe there?
No.
Do you think it's a good idea to do that?
Never.
Do you think he's going to get eaten by the creatures? I'm pretty sure that other boy got eaten or something. You think?
Yeah.
In the light of day, those distant figures felt like a simple dream. Okay, see you later, Basher. Have a good day. The sun turned my nightmares to ash, but the aftertaste was still there, distant, ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me, and a barely audible whisper in my head, blurry and almost kind. Everything was silent. So silent, I felt like the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Ola. The time reached its limit, a one-way trip that ended at the forest's piney stockade. He's going farther into the forest. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Ola turned to stone, listening to them. But then always came the ringing silence. Our apartment became numb in a couple of days before we departed. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together, almost like all of it was in a previous life. When they kissed with Ola present, she always frowned and snorted in a funny way. But one day, it all changed. Something important had left our home, and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke up, and our parents were hurried packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From who, though? From the people with dead cold eyes who sometimes visit us in our previous home? The eyes that only saw balls of worms on the black grounds in everything? That doesn't sound very good.
No.
What do you mean by that? And somewhere far away, a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the coming menace. I shuddered, chasing away my delusions, and looked around. There were only me, this white field, and the wind that was whipping up icy dust and pelts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. You're the menace, Lucy? Okay. Knobby tree roots slithered under the snow like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and coniferous needles froze into the ice.
I'll be right back, Alpha.
Okay.
No.
There seems to be a mitten on the tree there. Dry, prickly branches intertwined, bringing up comfortable thoughts about fences. Were they protecting the forest? Or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging from one of the pointy branches. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird among the hungering semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? Their senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of a Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of Broken Lights. He was also always anxious with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Will this mitten help them find the lost boy? No, it's probably the mitten from the lost boy. Vova! I heard a distant shout. Looked like it came from the river. Vova! As if the trees were calling out to someone. Vova! Resounded closer to me. Someone was standing there behind the trees, hiding. Vova! I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still. Something was unsettling about that figure. I don't see it. Its stillness, how it is bent unnaturally toward the ground. Its blackness. There's no one there, just branches and roots. It's all just my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. Oh shit. A shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my sight. I looked away for just a moment, but when I turned my gaze back to the same place, it was gone. So it was my imagination after all. Silence reigned for a painfully long time. Oh boy. My muscles were tightly sprung. My heart was beating somewhere in my throat. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the thicket, and I'd sprint. But nothing of the sort happened. I looked at the mitten once more. I'm gonna try and take it. I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. Okay, maybe that's a bad idea. Over. That was a bad idea, because, oh boy. A shout rumbled across the field and dissolved into the distance. No echo, no hope for a reply. Ah, shit. It didn't budge. I pulled harder. The branch cracked and the mitten tore off, landing in my hand with a squishy sound. All too heavy, wet. I squeezed it without thinking and something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny string between the mitten and the snow. Steam rose from the snow pile. I froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. Red. The sound of cracking branches invaded the silence. Oh my god. I didn't have to think twice before running away. Someone was chasing me from the darkness. breaking pine branches, closing the distance with giant leaps. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone forever. But there was one more voice, probably one of reason. It gave me strength, spurred me on. You can do it. Don't stop. I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears went numb. It felt like the sound had come from a pack of hungry beasts, rather than a single one. Their nostrils sucked in freezing air. They sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head. An enormous shadow flew over the clearing. A hoot, a wheeze. The roars were coming from all directions now. From the dried up raspberry bush, from twisted pines, from under the windfall. Hurry, run, don't look back. It felt like I was inside a nightmare. The snowy clearing became vicious like quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the mushy trap just to be caught in a new one, even deeper than before. I continued to drown, sinking deeper and deeper with every desperate push. Was snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something in the snow pile was clutching my pants. I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure on my leg was gone. My boots slipped out of the hole, and my soles were on a hard surface again. That was one of my sound alerts from Twitch. I reached a clear path with one jump, and from there, ran to my house. Its gloomy facade didn't look threatening now. That house was my line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings and the creatures that were hidden under the snow. I tripped over the doorstep and smashed into the door. In all my hurry, I still managed to notice the claw marks, as if a dog was striking the wood with its paws, demanding to be let in so it could escape the cold. I hadn't noticed these marks when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears was much louder than my surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were already in our front yard and Mum had locked the door? Drowning in fear, I pulled on the doorknob and it obediently gave way. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch planks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. My fingers slipped off the lock and I couldn't click it into place. I gritted my teeth and pulled hard on the iron knob, whipping it between the boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Wheezing breath reached into the house and crashed at me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. Mum peeked out of the kitchen and chastised me with the same frigid voice she always used when talking to Dad. What exactly did you not understand when I told you to never slam the door? I didn't mean to. I snuck a glance at the door, The smell was gone. And the breath was too. If there was someone in the first place, of course. Here, mere 5 meters away from Mom, my fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring, and with it the last bit of strength I had left my body too. My legs gave way. I propped myself up against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. Mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mask of strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same as before all those quarrels. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants plastered with snow. "Where have you been? What did I tell you, huh? I told you to stay home. Am I nothing to you two?" I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and wanted her to cuddle me. But Mom regained her composure fast and put on her usual face. Her eyes shined like steel. Her voice rang out. "Lucy, if you're gonna say things, have a little bit more decency, please. I don't like things like that in my chat. If you keep it up, I will ban you. Be respectful." I will say it one more time. Thank you. Her eyes shined like steel. Her voice rang out. "You can have fun, but you don't have to be vulgar. Okay?" Her eyes shined like steel. Her voice rang out. "Your dad can't find his cigarettes. Be honest, did you snatch them? Were you smoking in secret?" There was someone chasing me, I thought. I stuttered as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. Mom leaned toward me and sniffed my clothes like a beast, searching for the smell of tobacco. Then she squinted her eyes in suspicion and looked into the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant, and she covered her mouth with her hand. "Look over there at the fence." My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again, and my pursuers were following me in the field. I could swear that I've heard something scratch at the door, just like in my nightmare. Mom beckoned me with her finger, and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window, facing my fear. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in snow through the icy winter patterns on the glass. They look like dogs. "Hey, Luna?" Do you see that? They look like dogs.
Yeah.
They look like dogs. Maybe that's what was chasing us, was the dogs. Dogs? Just a small pack of strays with no name and owner.
My mind went somewhere else.
Did it? Barely reminding of the hungry monsters that live on the edge of the forest. Oh boy. Were you scared of them? I think they'd rather be scared of you, Anton. They were chasing me like a bunny. And what if they're a rabbit? The smile had slowly disappeared from Mum's face. Now she looked at the dogs as if it was her first time seeing them. What if they attack Ola? Mom, I wish your dad could just shoot them all. Oh, hey, now you're getting a little bit violent there. Mom, look, they're alive. Huh? What? Are they your friend or foe after all? Make up your mind. You're not a little kid anymore. Mum sighed in annoyance, and I felt so bitter that I bit my lower lip and fixed my gaze on the cobweb-ridden corner. Well, some detective I am. In reality, I wasn't risking my life among monsters, but rather my pants among a pack of stupid strays. And what for? What use do I have for this? Mitten. Of course. A darkened, sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made a squishy sound in my hand. Seems like I was clutching it the whole time. That's my trump card as a detective. I hurried to present this clue to my mom. Ugh. Mom, look, this is Volva's mitten.
I'm gonna record my second video for my channel because as I said, I couldn't record it in full time. It was starting to be stupid, so I'll still be in like the call with you.
Okay.
I won't be watching the stream.
Oh, okay. The boy the police were asking about in the morning. It's drenched in blood. I found it hanging on a tree. I can show you where. Let's call the police right away, like the officer had told us to. Mom, look! Ew. A shadow of doubt slowly crept onto Mum's contorted face, as if she was trying to remember something distant, like someone tries to remember their dream, but the images slip away. Stop it this moment. Ola will go insane if she hears you. She already has trouble sleeping and whines all the time. And you joke around like this? At that moment, I realized the mitten was actually wet from snow. There was no blood whatsoever. I wanted to sink through the floor from embarrassment. Come here, my boy, who cried Wolf. Oh, don't just stand there. Come take your pills. A golden-colored pill, reminiscent of a dead wasp, fell onto my palm. I already took one during breakfast. Don't talk over me. I told you to stay home, and you? Dad would have given you a good whipping for that. Come on, take it, or you won't be able to sleep at night. And you have school tomorrow. So I had to swallow the bitter medication, drinking it down with similarly awful water that gave off a taste of chlorine. Maybe it wasn't Vova's mitten. Maybe it wasn't a mitten at all. Just like the forest monsters. And Ola's owl. Am I going mad? What's happening to me? Either the pill had an immediate effect, or my overexerted brain didn't let fear inside anymore. Serenity washed over me, bringing yawny indifference along with it. Anton, you done? So you can do it when you try. Take off your coat. Are you asleep? No, Mom. I was just thinking. What about? I wonder. It's just something silly. Mum scrutinized me with suspicious eyes, as if she wasn't sure she was looking at her own son, and not some doppelganger that came from the forest. Is everything all right? You had the exact same expression when the policeman asked you about the window. I'm all right, Mom. She heaved a deep sigh. Fine. It seemed like the house had changed. The sofa's fabric had become discolored. Fingerprints appeared on the bathroom tiles. The light bulbs also felt different, dimmer and yellower. Even the saliva inside my mouth had a different taste. A melody from Aladdin could be heard from the upper floor. Ola was done rewatching her favorite Little Mermaid episodes and switched to other tapes. I slowly changed into my home clothes, stopped before the sink, and studied my reflection in the mirror, like I was trying to solve one of those spot the difference puzzles. Then I went upstairs. Jafar's and Lego's voices died down. I walked past Ola's bedroom and slipped into my own. One of the drawers was empty. I hid them in there. This simple action drained the last bit of strength from me. I sat on the bed, and only then I noticed there is someone behind the curtains. My tired hand dropped to the sheets. Whether it was due to medication I took or the stress I underwent, the room began to contort, as if the wind was blowing the walls out like a pair of sails. The room's corners bent and undulated. The only stable thing in the whole room was the figure between the windowsill and the curtains. A flimsy piece of cloth was stuck to my hidden visitor. I think it's Ola. Just like a savant of sorts. Ola? Who else would be standing there? I stood up and licked my dried up lips. Yeah, Ola, it's so funny. The silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloped softly by the curtains, as if there was a thick layer of darkness there, not a human being. I reached toward the curtains. Ba-dum, beat my heart, controlled by medication. The wind sang in the field with a chorus of voices. For a second, I wanted to return to the bed, just lie down and watch the person behind the curtain, knowing full well they were looking back at me. They're looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep. Plastic rings rustled against the holder when I pulled open the curtains. Gotcha! I knew it was you from the beginning. A blindingly bright halo lit up above Ola's head with the setting sun as the background. My sister was shining. When she was just a baby, Dad always used to say she was shining with happiness. I always retorted, but Dad, she's not some flashlight. But I brought her to the window one day and sunlight poured on her smiling face. I felt like I was holding a child woven from light. I saw everything. Oh, really? What did you hide? She was just like my mom when she was little, before she put on her sad mask of tiredness and switched to her commanding tone of voice. It's nothing, just... Ola ran up to the table, her eyes round, and asked, You stole something and hid it there. Are you a thief? What? Don't be stupid. I didn't steal anything. A clear image came to mind. That mitten, hanging from a tree branch. What if I did steal it after all? From the forest, from the titled figure, standing behind black trees. Ola could be selfish and stubborn when she wanted. Then show me. Swear that you won't tell anyone, then I'll show you. Ola wore a plotting smile. I swear on Mom's heart. an oath she heard in one of the movies about the pioneers we've watched. Don't say things like that. Ola nodded and made a gesture with her hand, locking her mouth with an imaginary key. She was filled with curiosity that was splashing in her giant eyes. It looked like there was not just a simple min, but some sort of exotic critter. Is this someone's min? She said that as if she couldn't understand what she saw. A certain boy lost it and got lost himself. Now you do understand how dangerous it is for kids to wander into the forest, right? It must be really cold out there. Will they find him? They will. The police are going house to house showing his photo to everybody. Ola traversed the room with care and pressed her tiny palms against the window. And why are they going to houses and not the forest? Are they scared? The question caught me off guard. The police aren't scared of anything. Yeah, right, flashed in my clouded mind. Do they really check every nook and cranny? Where darkness, cold, and whispers of icy branches dwell? If that's the case, how did they miss the mitten? Or did it appear later? For me. I changed the topic, as if trying to get Ola as far away as possible from the forest thicket. We may get a reward if I go and find this boy by myself. A lot of stuff, like in Field of Wonders. Sounds cool, right? Ola wasn't listening to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes, uncharacteristic for her. What if the owl got him? Nonsense. An owl won't be able to lift a human. But you know what? I was picking my words with utmost care. I forced them out of my overexerted brains. Stay away from the forest. I think it's, how should I put it? It's cursed or something. Just like in a fairy tale? No, not like that. More like in that spooky tape Mom and Dad are hiding from us. Ola shivered and stole a glance at the window. I saw you running away. Someone was chasing you. No, it's just I was hurrying back home, so Mom won't be worried. As I looked at my sister, my heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile. It was so easy to stifle her light. A gust of wind, and her small fire would be gone. You're lucky. Mom won't even let me go outside. I'm like a princess in the tower. Can't go anywhere. I'll die from boredom here. You're wrong. No one has ever died of boredom. And you have me and your cartoons, and Mom and Dad will be good to each other soon. You know what I would wish for on my next birthday? I'd wish for Mom and Dad to turn into children so we could go and play together like we used to. Yeah, and if you'd make them as small as bugs, we could place them into a little box. Ola giggled and tugged at my sleeve. Tony, let's go watch Aladdin. Fatigue won over my desire to be with my little sister. I was washed over by some sort of heinous apathy. I'm too tired. I don't want to. Come on. It's so boring alone, and Mom is always busy. We can pick a cartoon you have seen before. I know all of your tapes by heart at this point. Not all of them. You haven't watched Peter Pan. Remember how you fell asleep in the middle of it? And so much happens after that. Let's go, let's go. Maybe a bit later. Should I tell you how it ends? Let's leave that for tomorrow. I won't tell you tomorrow. I know. Let's play hide and seek. No, Olga. Then draw me a dino. Ola, please. Draw it, draw it. Will you leave me alone already? I blurted out without thinking, and then I was immediately taken aback. I'd never screamed at my little sister like that. Ola stared at me in shock. Her lips started trembling. A precursor to tears. My chest was seething with disgust and embarrassment. What's happening to me? I hurried to prevent Ola from crying. All right, you win. Let's go watch cartoons for a bit. I don't wanna. I came up to her, put my hand on her soft head. Let's go. Let's go watch Peter Pan. Boo! You'll fall asleep again. I smiled and lifted her chin. Her eyes were wet and felt bottomless. I promise I won't. And I'll draw you a full triceratops later. Hooray! Triceratops? Well, close enough. Ola rubbed her eyes with the sleeve of her pajamas, and a shining smile returned to her face. I'll go ask Mom for condensed milk and bread, and you rewind the tape. The bread is fresh, just how you like it. All right, just be careful not to spill the milk, or you'll be yelled at again. Want to bet I won't spill it? The tape is somewhere in the nightstand. Look for it. Ola disappeared into the doorway, and I dragged my feet into the neighboring room. I will be right back, everybody. So we're going to take a short break. Don't go anywhere.
In the shadows, I can feel the fear. Monsters lurking, they're always near. But I've got my courage, I won't hide. 'Cause deep down I know I'm too cute to die. I'm too cute to die. I'll face the night with a heart of steel. I'll win this fight. In this horror game, I'll stand my ground. With every step I'll make my sound. The darkness whispers calling my name, but I've got the light, I'll play this game. Spooky vibes and chilling screams. In this haunted world I chase my dreams. I'm too cute to die. I'll face the night with a heart of steel. I'll win this fight. In this horror game, I'll stand my ground. With every step I'll make my sound. The shadows creep and the cold winds blow. I'll keep my smile, let my bravery show. In this twisted tale, I'll rise above. With every scare, I'll show my love. I'm too cute to die. I'll face the night with a heart of steel. I'll win this fight. In this horror game, I'll stand my ground. With every step to die. The shadows creep and the cold winds blow. I'll keep my smile, let my bravery show. In this twisted tale, I'll rise above. With every scare, I'll show my love. Boink. I'm too cute to die. I'll face the night with a heart of steel. I'll win this fight. In this harder game, I'll stand my ground. With every step, I'll make my sound. So join me now, let's beat this fight. Together we'll conquer the darkest night. In this game of scares, we'll always try. Cause you and I, we're too cute to die. When the shadows, I can feel the fear. Monsters lurking, they're always near. But I've got my courage, I won't hide. Cause deep down I know I'm too cute to die. And the shadows creep and the cold winds blow. I'll keep my smile, let my bravery show. In this twisted tale, I'll rise above. With every scare, I'll show my love. Boink. I'm too cute to die. I'll face the night with a heart of steel. I'll win this fight. In this harder game, I'll stand my ground. With every step, I'll make my sound. So join me now, let's beat this fight. Together we'll conquer the darkest night. In this game of scares, we'll always try. Cause you and I, we're too cute to die.
In the shadows, fear is near, but I've got courage, no need to fear. Monsters lurk, I won't hide, cause I know I'm too cute to die. I'm too cute to die. I'll face the night with a heart of steel. I'll win this fight. In this horror game, I'll stand my ground. With every step, I'll make my sound. Join me now, let's beat this fight. Together we'll conquer the darkest night. In this game of scares, we'll always try. Cause you and I, we're too cute to die. In the shadows, fear is near, but I've got courage, no need to fear. Monsters lurk, I won't hide, cause I know I'm too cute to die. I'm too cute to die. I'll face the night with a heart of steel. I'll win this fight. In this horror game, I'll stand my ground. With every step, I'll make my sound. Join
Okay, I'm back.
Yay!
The old Fonton TV was gathering dust in the corner. All that was left was clicking the button on the front panel. The tube warmed up and familiar white noise started dancing on the black screen. I almost reached out to turn on the VCR when the noise calmed down and a blurry image appeared for a moment. It was a dark Tegea forest just like the one outside my window. The picture split the screen in half. Something creepy resembling human speech was coming out of the speaker. Just a few moments later, the scenery was again overshadowed by noise. Did you catch some rogue signal? Local TV station only really showed Soviet cartoons, and even that was pretty rare. And only just recently I used to always watch Robotech before school. It was so awesome. Maybe I should tinker with the antenna. What if I catch this channel again? On the other hand, Ola had asked me to find the tape. It wouldn't be nice to disappoint her. But in my sleepy state, I didn't have the strength to do all of it. I sifted through the shelves full of dolls and blue hippos from Kinder Surprise. I found the tape I needed thanks to its shabby spine. I got the black rectangle from its box. The tape inside it rustled while rewinding to the beginning. This rustle was lulling me to sleep. Drowsiness attacked me while I was squatting before the TV. Images whirled in my head, me and Ola flying above the forest, tumbling in the soft clouds. My little sister is laughing, but her smile becomes more and more forced with every passing second. I notice that the clouds underneath us part, bearing the bristly pine tops. Swampy darkness slurped among the trees. The wings are no longer able to hold us and Ola. You haven't started without me, have you? My sister brought the tray with unevenly cut bread and a whole can of condensed milk. I rubbed my eyes. No, come sit. Mom and Dad are arguing again. They're going through rough times. Rough times are lame. Pin the screen. Wendy was hiding Peter Pan's shadow into the dresser. Ola was entertained by the cartoonish dog Nana. Maybe Mom and Dad will buy us a dog too. Yeah, right. I'll have my own dog in the Neverland, and a cat, and a parrot. Ola smeared a slice of bread with a thick layer of condensed milk and handed it to me.
Shade wasn't here.
Uh-oh. Where'd he go?
Weird.
Are you back, Shade?
Yes.
I live.
You sound like you don't sound so good.
Oh, I feel like $1,000,000. I just ate a bunch of Taco Bell, so. Excuse. Wow. Yep.
Yep.
Well, I'm recording a game for my YouTube channel.
And I'm live streaming right now.
What you live streaming? Ghost watches? How's that going?
Tiny Bunny
It's like
prologue.
Tiny Bunny prologue.
What?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a creepy story.
Oh.
Have you lost all of your baby teeth? Obviously. Ola frowned, deep in thought. Peter Pan has baby teeth. What if they won't let you go to his land with adult teeth? Well, think of something. We'll ask Dad to alter your age in the passport. And why would Dad forge documents? Ola took a bite from the sandwich and started talking with her mouth full.
He
Yeah,
created
woo.
the story
I
alone.
heard Mom that he did that before. You'll grow ears as big as Dumbo's. Ola got worried and touched her ear. I smiled to myself. My little sister was silent now. She just devoured bread, watching the adventures of Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and James Hook. As if she got sucked into the fairy tale Neverland. To be honest, I also imagined myself there, in a land where one never ages, where no one argues over little things, where no one listens to fights and the sound of broken plates at night. Hi. Hi.
How much money we got?
In the shadows, I can feel the fear. Monsters lurking, they're always near. But I've got my courage, I won't hide. Cause deep down I know I'm too cute
with
to
extra
die.
jalapenos. Heartburn, here I come.
I'm too cute to die. I'll face the night with a heart of steel. I'll win this fight.
No, I didn't.
In this horror game, I'll stand my ground. With every step, I'll make my sound.
Now that.
The darkness whisper.
No, forget that shit.
That's why when normally I get Taco Bell.
In the shadows, I can feel the fear. Monsters lurking, they're always near. But I've got my courage.
Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, it's fine.
Welcome back.
It felt like I was dreaming with my eyes still open. Then my sister's scream pulled me back to reality. Tony shut the curtains fast. Why? No one's watching you. It's dark, and when it's dark, the owl comes. I'm scared. I got out of bed, fighting my drowsiness, and closed the curtains. I did my best not to look outside, towards the treetops, toward the Tasia forest, which seemingly drew closer and closer.
He would choose Omen. What a jackass.
Of course, it was just a visual effect from shadows of branches scraping the snow. Tony, Mom thinks I made the owl up. And Dad, too. Thinks I'm a liar since I saw. But the owl exists. Honestly it does. You do believe me, right? That it comes every night and I swiftly grabbed Ola's hand and looked her in the eyes. I was trying to transfer at least some of my courage and determination. But did I really have those qualities? Yes, I believe you, alright? Just don't nag our parents about it anymore. They're already dealing with a lot. So they'll just get mad at you. Come and tell me if anything happens. And don't look out the window. But it wants me to look. Doesn't matter. Act like it doesn't exist and never existed. Like it's made up. Just like Mom and Dad say. It'll get tired of waiting and fly away.
Oh, shit.
It was madness, but after everything that's happened recently, I was more and more inclined to believe Ola's old owl existed. What do you think, guys? Does that owl actually exist?
Oh.
Or is
I
it...
think, and this is my honest opinion about this game, that is a fucking skinwalker, and whatever they've been seeing, like with him and the dogs chasing him,
Yeah.
they're skinwalkers.
Yeah, because
That's my honest opinion.
if we look back when he went to get the mitt, he said there was owl flapping sounds, right?
Yeah.
He heard the screech of a hoot of an owl as well. That was behind him when he was being chased. And he heard sounds that didn't sound like just dogs. It sounded like, you know, beasts, monsters, you know, that kind of sound. So yeah, like I believe that, you know, yes, kids have imagination, but to be in that depth of it seems a little bit strange to me, like it's actually really what they are having happen. So yeah, it's strange. We followed Peter Pan's adventures as if nothing happened. As if the forest didn't kidnap kids. As if our parents weren't tearing each other apart bit by bit. Captain Hook was running away from a crocodile and Captain Pan was headed to London on a glided sailboat. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my little sister. Ola's eyelids had dropped. She started snorting slightly, resting her chin on the side of the bed. I stood up and left Ola's room. I was looking out the window, studying the field, when Mum peeked into my room. Enough playing around. It's your first day at school tomorrow. Go to bed. You should sleep properly. You don't want to be teased for being sleepy, right? Owls think everything is so simple. As if sound sleep would ensure my classmates would like me. He's so scared of being the first person there, you know. I know he's new in class, but having that fear deep the way he does, he must have had a terrible time in his last school. What do you think? I covered myself with a blanket up to my neck and listened to the house humming, to something invisible rustling in the corners. There's rustling in the corner? Oh boy. My inner voice had a question for me. Do I want to hear that mysterious flute again? Yes or no? Maybe it's just a part of growing up and I can't fully understand my own desires. The forest wailed behind the barrier that was my walls.
Ah, lucky shots.
Some ethereal entity wandered the fields. Branches shook as if calling for me. The wind howled on and on in the night. My thoughts were like annoying flies that entered my head before becoming weak and tangled. I didn't notice how I fell into slumber. Okay, so that was episode 1 of The Tiny Bunny. Okay. I hope you enjoyed it. They are coming out with episode 2. It's not out yet, but at least we got to see the whole episode 1.